Welcome traders and investors. My name is Andy. I'm the founder of Dalrymple Trading. Today is Monday, the 29th of September 2025. Here to look at with you the S&P 500 along with WTI Crude Oil. If we get a chance, we'll also have a quick look at gold as well. So looking at the S&P 500, we've seen a push off the Friday lows, and we've seen prices climb higher. I've actually entered a long position on this, more of a swing trade to the upside. So I'm currently in this trade where it says long position. That's my entry. That's where I've gotten in. As I've said in all my previous videos, this is a very strong bull market. I think it's a bubble, but nonetheless, prices just continue to push higher. So therefore, every time there's an opportunity to buy, I buy into this at a discount. So the way this is going, I think we will retest all-time highs again at 6,700, potentially looking upwards up to 7,000 as an upward target before end of year. Keeping in mind as well that we normally get a Santa Claus rally around December, so we could possibly see it break past the 7,000 mark by December. So if you are looking to trade this, look for an opportunity for a dip, and then once you have calculated the correct risk to reward ratio, enter a trade by keeping a tight stop just to make sure you're protected to the downside. But as of this moment, this is still a very strong bull market, and it'll be very silly to actually go short on this because everyone is buying into it. Looking at WTI crude oil next, what we saw was prices went up from Tuesday all the way up through till the weekend, Friday, and then we saw prices come down, and then today we've seen prices try to rally in pre-market hours only to push down to the bottom. So what we're seeing is potentially the start of a new bearish trend. This reaction was just purely because of Donald Trump's announcement around Russian crude oil, right? Which basically saying that he would impose tariffs on countries that continue to buy Russian crude oil, implying that there's going to be a future shortage of oil, which pushed prices higher. This is a bit of a knee-jerk reaction when initially prices were sort of heading low. Now, one thing I did mention in my previous video is this market is looking for any trigger to go up. Okay, so that trigger that happened that day was basically Donald Trump's comments, which pushed prices higher. But what I think may be happening, and I'm not sure, what I think may be happening is now that there's a few days since that message has come out, there hasn't been any follow-up action by the states in terms of those tariffs or any sort of supply issues with Russia, and therefore prices are moderating back down. So we may potentially see prices come back to that 61.50 level in the next week. But that's to be seen. That we can't be certain of that. But what we can say is there's a strong bias now for a downward push to the downside. Given that we came down, we retested, and then that failed. The upward move is failed, and we're coming down to the downside, unless of course we rally back up again. So for here, I'm looking for short positions moving forward if there is an opportunity with the right risk to reward ratio. Looking at gold, this is the first time I'm analyzing gold on this channel. Obviously, we've seen a very strong bull market gold, just the same as we saw S&P 500. Gold hit all-time highs at 3,800 roughly on Tuesday last week. We've broken above that, and now we're basically going above. What I'm expecting here is prices to pull back a little bit before we launch further into the upside with new price discovery. Gold is again in a very, very strong bullish market. We haven't seen a significant pullback or correction in this market for a very long time, and probably is due. So if you are going to trade this similar to the S&P, make sure that you are putting your stop losses in the right places just to protect your downside, just in case it does pull back. My medium-term view is even if it does pull back, I do still think there'll be a follow-through bull market given the weakness of the US economy. Gold is obviously a safe bet for a lot of traders and investors to get into. So that's the reason why we're seeing gold obviously rally, and of course the weakness in the dollar, the US dollar. That's another reason why we're seeing this strong rally. But nonetheless, even if it does pull back, yes, it's still another great opportunity to buy into this. As I said, the fundamentals of this gold market haven't changed to the downside whatsoever. So with that, I'll keep you guys updated on the rest of the week.